Hey there, I'm Rick Clemons. I'm a bold move expert. I'm a coach who helps people through transitions in life, and I love guiding people to dump their excuses, face their fears, and live unapologetic lives. And here's a topic I love dearly. It is doing this one thing that will get you further than any guru, even me, can help you do. And how do I know this to be true? Because I walked in the office after a week-long vacation and I was suntanned, I was relaxed. Of course, I'd just driven like 90 minutes in LA traffic to get to my office. But overall, I was in a really great space. I walked up the stairs, I'm kind of happy and smiling, starting to say hello to all my coworkers. Oh, how was the vacation? Oh, it was great, blah, blah, blah. You know how we all do, right? And then my boss came in and said, hey, welcome back. Do you have a moment to talk? I'm like, sure, why not? I figured we were getting ready to sit down and start planning because we had a really big project that we were working on. And she goes, come on down to the president's office. Let's kind of powwow with him. I'm like, okay. And I walked in and immediately this sense of ominous, like some big omen was hanging over the room. And to cut to the chase, in less than 5 minutes, I was laid off. I was the third employee hired at this company, and I had put in 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears in that organization. I was pissed off, hurt, and afraid. But here's what I had to do. I had to do this one thing to move myself forward. I had to give myself permission. I had to give myself permission to be in the confusion. But I also had to give myself permission to get out of that confusion by starting to get really curious about what's next. Now, most of you are going to go, well, of course, you're confused, you don't know what's next. But I'm talking about getting really deep and nitty-gritty into this. There's nothing wrong with being confused because in the confusion is where you can start to get the answers, provided you are asking the right questions. So this curiosity piece is huge. And what I started to learn as I got more and more curious about what was going on, yes, I was worried about how am I going to pay bills and all this sort of stuff, but luckily I had a great partner who was employed, and if we needed to, I could lean into him a little bit. But what I learned about this curiosity piece was it gave me the courage to start to look at things differently. And the more courage I started to build, the more confident I become. And the more confident I become, the more I could commit to doing the thing I most wanted to do. Now, it was a little unclear what that thing was for about 3 months or so, maybe 4 months. And then I finally realized, no, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm going to do, and I committed to it, and I consistently started showing up to do that thing. So how did I get to this place where I gave myself full permission to go, be in the confusion, to be curious, to build my courage, to start to stand in my confidence, to commit and to consistently show up? Well, here's what I had to do. Number one, we all have this. We all have these silly, shitty little gremlins that tell us, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you worry, just worry about everything. That's what you got to do right now is you got to worry, worry, worry. You got to shut the gremlin down. Out of the way, get him out of the way so you can move forward. Secondly, you got to stop waiting for somebody to say you can eat the cookies. Do you remember when you were kids? I think most of us were like, oh, fresh baked cookies. And we go for it as soon as they come out of the oven, and then suddenly slap, mom says, you can't have the cookie. You got to wait till after dinner. Well, sometimes you got to give yourself permission to go ahead and grab the cookie and eat it and see what happens. Too many of us are waiting for the permission to eat the cookies in our lives. I want you to give yourself to start eating the cookies, giving yourself the permission, and dealing with whatever comes along. Now, I also want you to realize that you don't need anybody else's approval to go do what you're going to do. In fact, for the most part, we don't need other people's approval. Maybe in certain cases, maybe in certain work situations, yes, but for the most part, as long as we're doing something that's moving things along, we're moving ourselves along, there's not a whole lot of permission for most things in life that we need, but we get so stuck waiting for other people to give us permission. You need to give yourself permission and quit waiting on other people to do that. The next thing I want you to focus on too is we all have the choice. We have the choice to do things our way. Now, you noticed earlier I said something about, doing this one thing, and even if you have followed the gurus, I have had lots of gurus, lots of mentors in my life. And I take bits and pieces of what I've learned from them, but at the end of the day, we all have the choice to do things our own way. Now, it doesn't mean, oh, I learned this, screw that, I'm not going to follow this person. No, there are things that, man, our mentors and our gurus, again, I've had many of them who have taught me how to do things, even how to shoot videos like this, that I think have made me better. But at the end of the day, I do some of this the way I want to do it because it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel like I'm doing it the way Rick would do it. And finally, the thing you need to do is stop buying into beliefs that no longer serve you. Use what works and dump everything else. We get so caught up in these, okay, this is what I'm supposed to believe, this is what I'm supposed to buy into. But look at your own beliefs and really hold true to your beliefs that most work for you and get rid of everything else. And as we wrap it up here, what I want to remind you of is permission comes from swimming around in the confusion, getting curious, starting to build the courage that leads to the confidence, that then enables you to commit to what you're going to do and to help you consistently show up. And I want you to remember these three things. Every day is another chance for you to go do it all again if you screw it up. Number two, you are your biggest critic, and you are your own worst enemy. And number three, action always beats sitting around on your ass doing nothing. So always be in action every day in every way towards what it is you want to accomplish. So what are you going to do? You're going to give yourself permission to go do the thing you want to do. And if you're really struggling with this, I want to invite you to go to nofearsnoexcuses.com and take the Unapologetic Life Assessment. It's a little short assessment that will help kind of bring you some clarity. And then along with that are 3 videos that I've done about how you start to live an unapologetic life. So I invite you to come do that, come spend some more time with me, and go out there and give yourself permission to live your unapologetic life, no excuses, no fears, and do it your way.